Hints for beginners. Elementary combinations. The mental development of the chess player is a gradual struggle from a state of chaos to a clear conception of the game. The period required for such development largely depends upon the special gifts the learner may possess, but in the main, the question of methods predominates. Most beginners do not trouble very much about any particular plan in the study of chess, but as soon as they have learned their moves, rush into the turmoil of practical play. It is self-evident that the prospects under such conditions cannot be very bright. The play of the beginner is planless because he has too many plans, and the capacity for subordinating all his combinations to one leading idea is non-existent. Yet, it cannot be denied upon investigation that a certain kind of method is to be found in the play of all beginners, and seems to come to them quite naturally. At first, the pawns are pushed forward frantically, because there is no appreciation of the power and the value of the pieces. Conscious of the inferiority of the pawns, the beginner does not conclude that it must be advantageous to employ the greater power of the pieces, but is chiefly concerned with attacking the opposing pieces with his pawns in the hope of capturing them. His aim is not to develop his own forces, but to weaken those of his opponent. His combinations are made in the hope that his adversary may not see through them, nor does he trouble much about his opponent's intentions. When most of his pawns are gone, then only do his pieces get their chance. He has a great liking for the queen and the knight, the former because of a tremendous mobility, the latter on account of his peculiar step, which seems particularly adapted to take the enemy by surprise. When watching beginners, you will frequently observe numberless moves by a peripatetic queen, reckless incursions by a knight into the enemy's camp, and when the other pieces join in the fray, combination follows combination in bewildering sequence and fantastic chaos. Captures of pieces are planned, mating nets are woven, perhaps with 2 pieces against the king's position, where 5 pieces are available for defense. This unsteadiness in the first childish stages of development makes it very difficult for the beginner to get a general view of the board. Yet, the surprises which each move brings afford him great enjoyment. A few dozen such games are by no means wasted. After certain particular dispositions of pieces have proved his undoing, the beginner will develop the perception of threats. He sees dangers 1 or 2 moves ahead, and thereby reaches the second stage in his development. His combinations will become more and more sound. He will learn to value his forces more correctly, and therefore to husband his pieces and even his pawns with greater care. In the second stage, his strength will increase steadily, but, and this is the drawback, only as far as his power of combination is concerned. Unless a player be exceptionally gifted, he will only learn after years of practice, if at all, what may be termed positional play. For that, it is necessary to know how to open a game, so as to lay the foundation for a favorable middle game, and how to treat a middle game, without losing sight of the possibilities of the end game. It is hopeless to try to memorize the various openings which analysis have proved correct, for this empirical method fails as soon as the opponent swerves from the recognized lines of play. One must learn to recognize the characteristics of sound play. They apply to all and any position, and the underlying principles must be propounded in a manner generally applicable. You have just listened to an edited extract from Chess Strategy by Edward Lasker. Download a PDF copy by clicking on the link in the description below.